Hello. Time to talk about the day. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right. Well, from what I can remember, I was woken up by my mom at around 9:30. I was asked to move my car out of the way so she could go to work. So I did that because I was parked behind her. Said goodbye and that I love you. Once she left, I parked up the driveway, got out of the car, and normally I'd go to bed, but I decided to stay up, and around this time I thought to myself, it sounds really good right now. Waffles. So I decided to make a batch of waffles. I used the same recipe that I recently used a few days ago. Man, it's bugging me that I don't remember the name of it though. But it is from the Food Network, so if that leads you to any clues, there you are. So I made this waffle. Oh, I think it was the waffle of immense greatness, something like that. Well, anyways, I followed the directions. I mixed that bad boy up. I had to give it 30 minutes to sit because I found out that giving your waffle batter 30 minutes before you put it in the waffle iron gives it just enough time to fully hydrate the flour, so that way it'll give you a perfectly crisp outside and a nice soft and fluffy inside. So that's what I did, and I wanted to use my beef tallow on our hash browns that we have. So I got some beef tallow out, I put that in a pan, I heated that up until it was boiling hot, and then I put 2 different hash browns in there. As I was cooking, I was listening to a podcast from Simeon Jimmy's Treehouse where he and Iggy Eggman Rodriguez were talking about various different subjects, from Simeon Jimmy attempting to go get jury duty, only for it to not really, and it ended very anticlimactic because apparently the people who were involved in the case never showed up, so they waited hours for nothing. Apparently he was miffed because he wanted to read on stories on his phone while he was waiting, but apparently your phones were allowed, but you could read an actual physical book if you brought it with you. So, well, that's annoying. Very annoying. They were talking about how Simeon's jury duty case wasn't as exciting as Iggy's because Iggy had a jury duty story that he shared, and that story is so funny and so entertaining that Simeon Jimmy himself felt like he wanted to turn it into a movie. So he was suggesting that, and that would be something they could totally do. So I'm totally down for that. I think it'd be hilarious. So after watching that, making the waffles, greeting our family friend, letting them know, asking them if they were interested in having some waffles, they said yes. So I had 2 Belgian waffles with melted butter and syrup and whipped cream, and they were both exceptionally good. I also had the hash browns made in beef tallow, but my big problem with that was that it was a little too oily for my taste. I like it when my hash browns are, a light, airy crisp, but not a heavy, oily crisp, if that makes sense. It just feels like it weighs a lot on the stomach. But yeah, I had these delicious waffles. They were some of the best waffles I've ever made, if I'm being honest with you. I put them at the full 6. There's a heat marker on the Belgian waffle iron that I was using. It goes from 1 to 6. I put it all the way at 6. And apparently, I found out through reading the instructions you did not need to spray the waffle iron with any oil because there's already 1/3 of a cup of oil in the waffle batter that will allow it to not even need oil to unstick because it'll unstick itself from the waffle iron. So when I found that out, it was pretty good to know for reference next time. Yeah, so after I was done eating and watching this, I made our family friend her waffle with some whipped cream and syrup and butter, and they really enjoyed that. I then made the executive decision to have this be my last meal for the next 3 days. Because when my sister got up, I let her know that I knew I said I wanted to do the whole fasting with her and mom, but yesterday I kind of got off the wrong foot by just starting to eat to begin with, and then I just continued eating more. So I was like, okay, it's time to start fresh. I'm gonna not eat anything after the waffle and the hash browns. At best, I'll have coffee or tea, or water with electrolytes and salt. So yeah. So I'm going to be on this fast for the next 3 days, starting at 11:30 a.m. today, um, which is past, and now we're well beyond the 12-hour mark. We're 12 hours and 37 minutes in. The time is currently 12:07 a.m. So hey, we're doing pretty good. Yeah, just from what I hear, all you need to do is continue drinking water with a good amount of electrolytes and salt in it to keep your brain active. And yeah, just make sure you get plenty of water in. So I could put gulp down some oil, like healthy oil, like olive oil or MCT oil, if I want to. That's entirely possible. We'll see though. Am I going to go pure or am I going to take some oil? We'll see what happens. Well, anyways, after making that statement, we got into this conversation about where our ancestry lies. I don't remember how we got to that, but my sister mentioned that I had ancestry.com, so I looked it up. I found out that we are apparently around 27% like Irish and Scottish, and 30% like Mexican, and then a whole mixture of different like ethnicities from all around the world. So that was really cool to hear. Really neat to realize that you're part of a much bigger story. Very nice. Yeah, after that, I decided to go into my room and I had a chat with Ash about what I can do to better my schedule and my time management. And we basically got into this conversation about the things I need to do, like folding clothes or working on my Brain Jam YouTube channel or going to the plasma donation center to get a new batch of paperwork for my doctor to sign. And we kind of weeded it out and worked on, okay, what's the most immediate thing that'll prove that you can get things done, and that was folding clothes. So I decided to do that, and yeah, I folded some clothes, put it away while listening to a Red Letter Media video, and gotta say, when I was done, I felt really good about that. It was really nice to see all that work locked in. I then took a shower. I got dressed. I said goodbye to my sister. Told her that I love her, and then I left. Got in my car, drove off. I was in a rush, running low on time. When I eventually arrived At work, I punched in and I checked the schedule. I had sweeps all day, as usual, for the very recent present as of now. So I put on my vest and it was just juggling different things: bagging, sweeping, taking orders out. It's pretty much a good summation of it. Anything funny or interesting happen at work? Saw an old coworker that doesn't work there. Said hello. That was cool. Hello. I let one of my co-managers and one of my coworkers know that I was on a fast and told my reason. Well, it was a family thing, but also on top of that, I want to get to autophagy, where my body recycles old dead skin cells inside my body and replenishes and reworks them into new fresh cells. So yeah, that was cool. I went on my first break. I did a breath work exercise, felt really relaxed and nice after that. Went down, continued my sweeping duties. I was asked by one of my coworkers if I could switch my sweep with their lot, and they promised they'd do trash. I accepted the offer, so I went outside to do a lot for an hour. They did my sweeps and trash for that hour. When that was over, I punched in for lunch. Of course, since I'm on a fast, I wasn't eating anything, but I decided to do a half-hour meditation session while listening to the Robert Monroe Focus 10 Gateway tape to see if I could get into a deep state of meditation. And I'd say I was fairly successful with that. I really did start going into more of a deeper state of relaxation. Of course, I wasn't able to go through the whole thing. By the time I got upstairs and got acquainted with finding the video and started to listen to it, I was already 5 minutes into my half-hour lunch break, and so I could only listen to the 25 minutes of it. And the video was like 42 minutes long, by the way. So yeah, but I was able to get into a relaxed state, so that was nice. I then decided to go back downstairs. I punched back in. It was a cavalcade of different things, from bringing bags up to the front, putting them in each check stand, continuously bagging, wiping all the check stands down. My coworker brought in the carts and the signs and closed the produce blinds. Very grateful for that. And I also cleared a lot at the end as well, and did a sweep of produce before punching out. When I punched out, I was walking with my flask. I let my co-manager know that I'm going to maintain energy levels by drinking water with electrolytes and salt in it. And they seemed to be very encouraging about that. I got in my car and drove off. When I arrived home, I greeted my sister, who was watching the show Severance on the TV in the den, and then I decided to go and ask Google about if it was okay to take magnesium pills on a fast, and Google said it was a-okay, because I hear magnesium is something that is critical for you when you're on a fast, because you need to get your energy levels up through those kinds of minerals and things. So yeah, I took those 2 magnesium pills, and then I went in the restroom, brushed my teeth, and then before recording this video, I decided to go over some of my old AI video projects that I was working on to see what I was thinking about them. The one with the rabbit that was like an adaptation of a Maxwell Adams pilot that wasn't made. That was there was a final scene that I didn't notice where he had like 4 pairs of legs until he got his legs on the ground, and then he had 2 pairs again. It's classic AI hallucination nonsense. So I decided to generate another video where hopefully he will only have 2 legs, and luckily that worked, and I dropped that into the final edit. Then I watched some Orson Welles and Marlon Brando hot dog debate, trying to see where that was going and how it was working out. It was going all right. Although there are times when like music plays that I don't want there to be music, and the hot dog in the paper boat is constantly changing. Where it's like, oh, there's the hot dog with the paper, but the paper's gone. But there's the boat, but there's the hot dog again, but it has mustard. But then another shot it doesn't have mustard. So that's really annoying. You know, those inconsistencies drive you crazy in those kinds of programs and projects for sure. I then just was looking at this time-lapse video I recorded where me and my mom were making, we're doing yard work, and I was cutting like wood down and putting it away to be thrown out for later. And yeah, I decided to make this video. So that's my day in a nutshell. Yeah, got out this little recording device and hit that play button. All right, well, that's pretty much the day. Thank you for watching. Greatly appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone, and have a good night.